You said that you are the favored. Why would you say that?
I was a kid that if any of my older siblings needed anything from my parents, they
They
send
would
me to
come to
them.
you. Would you say there's a soft spot for every
For
last born?
most parents, what happens is their first is usually where they get to train to be a parent. So it's still testing phase. So whatever they learn from there, usually they want to correct in the second. Usually by the time they get to the third or the fourth, they have already gotten to the point where they feel like I can parent and this is how I want to parent.
And there's nothing you did.
Day after day, I started learning to keep silent. That's not a place you want any teenager to be. You want a teenager to be your friend. You want a teenager to open up so that when they are doing things, because they will definitely do things, they will let you know and you can correct. But if they are silent, that's trouble. I was in that state. Very early on, I saw sex as a way to express myself because I couldn't express myself at home.
So you found a safe place to be yourself.
Yeah, exactly. In the wrong place.
And that's the danger. Said you must have felt the weight of losing your parents the most because you had everything to lose. How did that feel?
We act and then we don't even know the effects in the lives of people that are around when we act.
You mentioned your single mother. Your father was not in the picture.
No, he wasn't.
Did you ever know him?
Yes, we did.
Did you ever feel like, let me go and find him?
We had already passed us at the time. I went to find her.
Making sex so common. Men feel like it is a trophy when I have 40 body count, 100 body count.
It will get to a point where we now realize even when we decide to talk, it will not be effective anymore.
Somehow you have to think, is this intentional? Are we under attack as fathers?
So what I'll tell them is to ask them why me.
This has been one of those conversations that I would say you definitely don't want to miss. It is going through Sam Oladende's life and a lot of things that I've found out and a lot of things that you could learn from and I've learned from. So I think it's a story about resilience journey, almost like Joseph from the Bible in real life. And there were some other topics that we didn't really touch, such as how he was able to, the culture shock, immigration. Now that is complex in its own, and maybe we might talk about that maybe on another conversation. And then obviously also trying to send yourself to school whilst working at the same time and the harsh realities of that. So you don't want to miss it. Make sure that you stick to the end at least and enjoy. Welcome to another episode, and today's guest is Sam Oladende. He is a man whose life journey has been defined by early loss, resilience as early as the age of 11. He had to hustle his way after secondary school for himself and his siblings. He's gone through, challenges of working as well as trying to pay his way through school and also immigration. So I'm looking forward to speaking with him. He's the youngest, and he said in his own words, the most favored one of his parents. So yeah, looking forward to speaking with Sam, and do pay attention. Welcome, Sam.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
It's I think it's been a long time coming. We've been
Yeah.
trying to make this happen for the longest time, and finally it's here.
Yes. UK will do its thing and then you have to do your own thing also.
Yeah,
So,
because life is just busy.
true that.
But I'm so grateful to have you here. Thank you for sparing the little time that you do have.
And I'm very honored to be here.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. I usually like to start with trying to get a little bit more about your background. Let's start from here. You said that you are the favored, the most favored one of your siblings. Why would you say that? Because we know the parents would never say that. So why would you think that?
Okay, so for every favored child out there, we know. We always know, even if they don't tell us, we know. Even if we act like we don't know it, but we always know. So how did I know? Growing up, I was the last born. To start with, all of my older siblings went to a public primary school. They shipped me to a private primary school. and then moved to secondary school. They went to a particular secondary school, like, it was just there. I went to another one. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, I was a kid that if any of my older siblings needed anything from my parents, they
They
send
would
me to
come to
them.
you. But I feel like that is what happens with every last born.
Hmm.
Would you say it's a soft heart? Like there's a soft spot for every
For
last born?
last borns, right?
Because
Okay.
yeah, in my case, my younger brother was the same one. You send
Hmm.
him
To
the
the parents.
request, yeah.
Okay. I'll say most parents, what happens is their first is usually where they get to train to be a parent.
Hmm.
So it's still testing phase. So whatever they learn from there, usually they want to correct in the second.
Hmm.
So they are still processing, and usually by the time they get to the third or the fourth, they have already gotten to the point where they feel like I can parent and this is how I want to parent. Do you
I see.
understand?
Yeah.
This, if a kid is actually doing this, it really doesn't mean that I'm a Yoruba person. Otibaje, like he's spoilt. I don't want to spoil my child. That
Hmm.
it really does not mean that I don't want to spoil my child if I allow the child to do this.
Hmm.
Usually they get to the third or fourth born before they realize that.
Wow.
So in my own perspective, that's how that's why the youngest usually gets
Hmm.
that treatment, usually. But at the same time, even aside those treatments, when a parent actually really loves you more than the other ones, you will know.
Even when they deny it.
You will know even when it's not. You will definitely know.
Yeah.
It's always there. So in my own case, it's not because of um being the last one. No, I don't think so.
So
Yeah,
you saw the preferential treatment. What
yeah.
what was
That's
it
right.
about you? Because
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so there's this thing I remember that happens a lot. They are always quick to talk about what they want me to be, either a doctor or an engineer. I didn't turn out to be either of the two.
so one of the top
Do you
four professions,
understand?
yeah.
Like you either become a lawyer, engineer, or when they're
Doctor.
talking to me about these things, I can't. As I'm sitting here right now, I can't really remember when they talked about that same thing with my older ones.
Mm.
You would expect that when they're talking to you about these things, they're talking to your older ones about the same thing, so that
Yeah.
just to. But I can't remember them talking to them about it
Were they talking to you about it in their presence? Or is it a case where they
in
sort
their
of in
presence.
their presence? Oh, okay.
When they're not there, it really doesn't matter. Anytime they talk about it, even when they are there,
And there's nothing you did. You
I was a child.
okay.
It was after growing up that I started, thinking back, and I started remembering these things. I felt like, wow,
Hmm.
I wouldn't want to do that to my child. No, no, I wouldn't want to do that to any of my children. No,
You mean the way your elder?
made me feel like I was more special than the others.
Hmm.
No, I wouldn't want to do that to any child.
Why?
Family should be the most important thing in society,
Yeah.
but in life it might not be. But family is one of the most important things. And if you want to have a solid family when you're gone, you want to make sure that there is love amongst your children.
Hmm.
Showing that you have a favored one creates this enmity in a way that even the ones that are not favored might not know.
Hmm.
They will just think they are growing, and then if anything like what happens to me happens, like in the case where my I lost my parents when I was still very young, and the older ones were now responsible for me. I saw Shige.
Oh.
Oh Lord have mercy. It's so their reaction now became our parents have spoiled you.
Hmm.
Do you understand? Because it is you that they're always listening to. It is you that they're always acting like you are the only child. And do you understand? They have spoiled you. That's why you can say that. That's why. So they reacted based on that, even when they didn't know that they were reacting.
Hmm.
Do you understand what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
So having a favorite child or making your children know that you have a favorite, I don't think it has any good side. I don't think he has any good side.
All right.
And that's coming from someone who felt like the favored one.
Wow.
I don't think he has any good side.
Would you draw a likeness to the story of Joseph and his
Yes,
brothers in the Bible? You know,
exactly.
the whilst you're the favorite child, your parents are your covering. The
Exactly.
moment your parents are not there,
When that covering leaves, you're in trouble.
you're in trouble
They'll
because
pounce on you.
they'll yeah, and
Exactly.
you felt that
Exactly.
once you lost your parents.
Exactly.
How so? If you don't mind.
Yeah. Okay. So we lost our parents, and then we had to fend for ourselves.
Mhm.
Now, you know how people promise when you lose parents, and the friends of your parents will come and tell you, I'm going to say this in Yoruba. Don't worry, we'll be there. Most of it is a lie. As soon as they leave there, their problems will most likely make them forget you because they have what they're dealing with in their own various worlds.
Everybody's too
Yeah,
busy.
except, do you understand? So it was exactly like that for us. So we had to start, fending for ourselves. And kudos to my elder sister. She stood her ground to make sure that we were together in a place at all
Mm.
times. Yeah, she did that. And it's in this that I was 11 or 12. I think I was 11 years. Yeah, going on 12 when mom passed as a single mother. Then we started, but for every, as a teenager, the best time for you to build a character in a child is when they're very young, around 5 to up to 7 or thereabout. Now, when they build that character, you still have the opportunity to either kill or further build that character for them in their teenage years. In my case, it was a killing because for everything I said, it's met resistance.
Yeah.
For everything I wanted, met resistance. Everything, every time I wanted to just be myself, it was a problem because being myself meant I was fearless. I had a covering. Do you understand? But when that covering now left, being myself to them, the fearlessness was like arrogance.
Mm.
Like, what if by now? That's why you can look me in the eye and ask me that. I mean, boy, do you understand that kind of a
Mm.
thing? So day after day, I started learning to keep silent. That's not a place you want any teenager to be. Because in their silence does not mean that they are not planning things. You want a teenager to be your friend.
Mm.
You want a teenager to open up so that when they are doing things, because they will definitely do things, they will let you know and you can correct. But if they are silent, that's trouble. So I was in that state, and um, very early on, I saw sex as a way to express myself because I couldn't express myself at home. So I saw it as a way to express myself. And there was nobody to tell me anything because I couldn't even tell anybody in the first place.
Wow.
Yeah. I couldn't even tell anybody in the
You
first place.
felt isolated.
I was isolated. It's not like I felt isolated. And I can say I was isolated because they wouldn't even know they were isolating me because they were just doing their thing. Of course, my older sister should be around in her early 20s. I think, yeah, she should be in her early 20s. So it's not like she was trained to be a parent.
Mhm.
She was just doing her thing. But for this young man, on the other hand, what I was feeling was totally different from what they were trying to do.
Mm.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So from there, I became this silent person. who doesn't even express himself. So I don't even express myself anymore. But if I'm talking to a lady, you'll be shocked.
It switches.
Oh my god! If I if you hear me talk to a lady, then you'll be surprised that is it not this better?
Just
that
quiet.
doesn't even say
Yeah.
anything about everything. So
So you found a safe place, or at least you felt safe to be yourself
yeah, exactly. In the wrong place.
in the wrong place,
Exactly.
and that's the danger.
That's a danger. So that was what I grew with. So I just from there started finished secondary school. Then immediately after secondary school, I started work. Guess the first place I worked in a hotel. That was the first place. That was the first job I got in a hotel.
Wow.
Aha.
It's kind of like igniting what needs to be dead to some level.
Oh
How
Lord.
how there's so many things that I want to ask,
Okay.
especially with the psychological and mental state of a child, because you weren't
Yeah.
even a teenager yet, right?
Yeah.
11,
Yeah.
12,
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
of a child in that at that time. You must have felt, and maybe I'm wrong, but deducing from what you've said, you must have
Okay.
felt the weight of losing your parents the most because you had everything to lose. How did that feel?
Just last month, I was having a conversation with my elder brother and my older sister, and my brother brought it up. He said, "Do you know we have not since mom died? Mom died about 25 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So, do you know we have not really sat down to talk about how we felt when mom died and everything. When we were growing up in Abeokuta, nobody knew what it meant to, discuss about grief and ways to grief and everything. We didn't know anything about those. So, sorry, how did you feel? My elder sister said how she felt. He said how she felt. I told them, do you know that immediately she died because she died right in my arms. She was right in my arms. That's mom. Um, Immediately they said she died. For one, I didn't even believe she died because I was in my mind. She's still breathing until the doctor said she has died. I was still arguing with them that she has not. No, can't have it. She has not. So
You didn't want to
after,
believe it.
yeah, after I came to terms with the fact that okay, she's dead. First feeling I got was, aha, now I'm in trouble. Only me with these people. I'm in trouble. I told them. They were like, wow, but why do you feel like that? You know how? We know why. Said, yes, but they didn't expect me to feel like that because we're still family. Mhm. Do you know what I felt after she died? My elder sister was like, what did you feel? You didn't feel anything. Thankfully, it was my brother that told her that you were fire back then if you didn't know. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
it's we act and then we don't even know the effects in the lives of people that are around when we act. Most times we don't know. We just do things the way it comes to mind and the way we feel is best.
Yeah.
Yeah, without even having to consider those around and how it makes them feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to answer your question straight, I felt like I'm a hot soup. I feel like Joseph must have felt when he was in that well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the world was against you.
Like I'm in trouble.
Do you
I'm in
do you
trouble.
mind if I ask how your mom, you said in your arms, was she sick? Was she ill?
She had cancer.
Okay.
Yeah, she had cancer. That's what she battled for a long time. Yeah, so
How long did she battle for it?
it
Battle
was
it.
back and forth. Okay, so I remember it was back and forth. We dealt with fibroid at some point. Then after that, we dealt with it was then cancer. And we went back home. Then went back to the hospital. It was a back and forth
Right.
issue. It lasted for about 2 years or thereabout.
Right. And you mentioned single mother. Your father was not in the picture.
No, he wasn't.
Did you ever know him?
Yes, we did. Up until the whole hospital issue, yeah, we're together, yeah, as a family.
And did he just
Yes,
leave?
just yes.
Did you ever
Yeah,
feel like, let me go and find him
I did, but it
once
was too
mom
late.
passed?
He had already passed us at then.
Yeah, that passed.
That's at the time I went to find him.
Wow.
He had already passed. That would be like about 7, 8 years ago. Yeah,
8 years
like
ago.
7, 8 years ago. Going to 10 years now. Yeah, that's at then he had passed. So
Do you ever felt like maybe he should have come and looked for you earlier, or you could have gone to look find him earlier?
no,
No.
no, I didn't. I didn't because I was young, yes, but I could see what was happening in the house, and I didn't want. Nah,
No.
no, no. I'll say he did his best, yes, but um, I think he got overwhelmed at some point, and and this is me thinking back with the fragments of memory that I have. I'll say he got overwhelmed by responsibility and how things were turning out, and he wasn't too happy. And instead of working together with his wife, he probably wanted to carry it alone, and he at some point he broke. So he reacted and felt like, I think I'd rather just go before I kill myself.
Wow.
I think I just trying to think for him now what could have happened, and like that's what I think could have happened.
And do you think a lot of people downplay the weight on a man's shoulder when it comes to family?
People,
In the Western world, there
yeah,
is a huge emphasis on the mother,
yeah,
on the woman, not so much on the father. The entire 9 months is all about the woman,
yeah,
not
sure,
what's the man thinking, what's he going through. After that, the development of the child, everything is all about the mother. In
exactly,
fact, they give preference to the mother, especially
true,
in the UK
true,
and in most countries in the West. This is an example where a man wants to play that role, wants to do the best that he can. And oftentimes, it can't be too much without the right support.
yeah.
Do you feel like that's downplayed? I know that you recently became a new dad yourself. So maybe talking from your experience and from the knowledge and memory that you do have, do you think it's often downplayed the weight that is on the shoulders of a man
Of the father.
that became a father? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the society is trying so hard to relegate the roles of fathers. I don't know why, but it is. Maybe the society is just trying to create unnecessary chaos, because if you break the family, you're creating chaos. And downplaying the role of a father in a home, let's call it what it
I think that is the number one way of destroying a
is trying
nation.
the society.
Is when you break apart families,
Exactly.
and especially I'll let you continue, but
Yeah.
especially the men. When you remove men from homes, there are studies that have suggested that especially in America and in the black
Communities.
communities and families, that the reason why the majority of the inmates are black is because of lack of
Yes.
fatherhood.
Fatherless.
There are two things that
Okay.
I can
Yeah,
see
true.
here. A father in a home that doesn't really know what it means to be a father, and maybe becomes overwhelmed and decides to leave, and then now it's just a single mom
Yeah.
and the child. That's one. And then the other thing is this, making sex so common, where
Mm.
we, men feel like it is a trophy. When I have
Mm.
40 body count, 100, some people even 200 body count, it's a trophy, but not realizing that there are consequences to
Do it.
these actions.
Yeah.
And one of that is children and babies. And now those children grow up. I watched some videos and some real life story where A woman has a baby but does not know who the father was, like has no inclination who the father could be. Now that's a child that would grow up
Wow.
fatherless. Do you know
Wow.
what I mean? That's the culture that we live in, and that's, I believe, the number one way where
Wow.
to bring down a society. I also, just before I let you continue, I
Mm-hmm.
also read and of a study that was done. I'm not sure if it's official study or not, where they looked at TikTok, for
Okay.
example, and to see, TikTok originated in China, to see what the West children, the children in the West, are seeing on TikTok. So
Mm-hmm.
what's on the
Mm-hmm.
newsfeed versus the
What they see
children
in
in
China,
China. Now,
totally different.
totally different. The children
Yeah.
in China, they're
Yeah.
seeing mathematics, these smart things,
To
education as they're
build
popping
them.
up, how to do to build them. And the children over here are seeing virality and memes and all of these things to dumb them.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, and somehow you have to think, is this intentional?
Well,
Are we under attack? As fathers, you know,
yeah.
talk about toxic masculinity. That is almost a phrase you hear every single
You
time
know,
for basic
for
things.
basic things, I just need you to be accountable. Why you're calling me toxic for expecting you to be accountable to me?
Yeah.
You are my wife. Why you? Anyways, the Bible has said it that certain things are going to be happening in the end times.
Mm,
So to start with, I'm not even surprised. I'm not even surprised because at the end of the day, some people will become so powerful that they will think, or that's if they're not already thinking that they can actually rule the world. With the power they have, they can control things. One of them is trying to control. I'm not going to mention names. One of them is trying to control food and farming now, going from continents, from country to country, to
mm,
try and buy farmlands
mm,
just to present GMOs to them.
mm.
The same GMOs that you can actually control as a person.
Yeah.
That's what it does. That's what this power does to people. Now, that's not the question. So the question you asked me was about
The weight on the
the
father.
weight on the fathers. All right. So I'm still going to start with the end time thing that the Bible said. If the Bible is, I know it's true. I'm just saying, if the Bible is true, as it is, one of the first or one of the ways that the enemy is going to gain
Like an
total
upper hand.
control
Yeah.
is by killing families, is by destroying families.
Yeah.
So when you destroy families and societies to the point that nobody believes in families anymore, which of course we're already going there. Nobody believes in families anymore. The society is already destroyed. Then people become entities.
Mm,
They become minions that can easily be directed
mm.
by simple systems,
Yeah.
simple laws.
Yeah.
This is just put this into law. This is what we are going to allow in agriculture. And boom, everybody starts eating what the agricultural laws allow.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So the attack on fatherhood is strategic, and it's one of the ways that the world is going to come to an end if we are going to be sincere with ourselves.
Mm.
Yeah. So if we don't fight for it, then we're going to be a part.
Like a pawn in the game.
Exactly. So we have to fight for it. We have to fight for it, even if a million content says otherwise. Bring out your own content and let them know
Yeah.
this is it.
Do you think it's more fathers needing to speak out? Like what can we
Yes,
do?
yes, and unfortunately, men have been so trained to not talk. I do you know? Good lord. This story I just told you about my background.
Mhm.
I did a bit of it on Instagram, and while I was talking about it, at the back of my mind, I was feeling like, "Are you sure you are not turning to a woman with this one that you are talking stories?"
Seriously.
I'm telling you, I had to caution myself. What was that? What's that? It's my story. Why can't I not say it?
Yeah.
Do you understand? So we have been trained to not talk. Anything that happens, internalize it. Do what you got to do. That's what they tell us. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Bruh. They do what you got to do. People will be saying things and will be killing us from the back until it will get to a point where we now realize even when we decide to talk, it will not be effective
It will
anymore.
not be effective because you are already so numbed
Exactly.
that you even it's almost like when you numb your mouth and you're trying to talk or you lose your voice, your mouth is
It's
moving,
moving.
but nothing is coming out. It's completely ineffective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we need to get it out as much as we can. As much as we can. We need to keep getting it out. And I think the church actually has a very important role to play. Church has a
I
very important role to
100%
play.
agree on that, because a lot of the family and principles that we see came from the church, came from the Bible, let me say
Exactly.
that. And this is why I would say truth is absolutely important. We see a dilution of truth that is happening today.
Okay.
And without truth, so it's truth that will say something like, truth to tell you something like, this is the role of a man in a home. This is the role of a woman in a home. Not necessarily in the traditional sense in terms of, cook. Like that is so trivial. But more in a sense of the strength, the rock, protection, caring, nurturing, because both is needed for the raising of a family.
Exactly.
And it is truth. I mean, it's the illusion of the truth that will tell you that maybe that is toxic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
The Bible is very plain in terms of, this is how, it's almost, someone once said to me, and I keep saying this and I'll keep saying it, that if you as a manufacturer, for example, you created this tablet, for example,
Yeah.
you will usually send with the tablet to whoever you're sending it to, how to use the tablet.
Yes.
This is how to use it.
Yeah.
Because you know everything about this
about
tablet.
it. You created it.
Yeah. And then if you decide to take this tablet and then put food on top as a serving tray, then you're not utilizing what the purpose for which that thing has been created. And at the end of the day, it is a failure, right?
Exactly.
It's just the same thing with life. God has created this earth. He has created this life that we know and we have. And he has sent us a manual to say, this is how you live that life. Now, the moment you start to rebel against that, then you're not optimizing the full effect of what you're supposed to achieve in this life. And I just found that super interesting. And I think that is where we need to start getting back to the foundational basis of the word, of the Bible, the person or the God or the entity that gave us this life, and back to his manual, which is the word of God.
Exactly. Every man needs to know his own place and be fearless in showing it, not only to his children, to everyone that cares to listen.
So beyond your family now.
Definitely beyond your family, because it has gone past deal with your own family now. If we rely on dealing with our own families, the negative side of that is you are only but one man shooting one arrow, or permit me to liken your wisdom to arrow, shooting one arrow towards your child. When they go out there, and they will definitely go out there, they're going to school, they're going to church, they're going to different places, they'll go to the mall, they'll have friends. The arrows that are out there are negatives. Yeah, they are negatives. So until we start adding our own positive arrow outside and not just concentrating on the inside, then the only thing they are going to face outside is going to be negative. So why not give them the opportunity of meeting positives? So when you give out the positive arrow, it might just be your son that my own arrow will meet on the social media when just scrolls through my video and hears a wisdom, and he's like, okay, that's different from what this person is saying, but okay. It corroborates with what my dad said.
Yeah.
All right. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of just scrolling out there, then all you can see is Nicki Minaj. How many people do I know? Beyonce. Do you understand? Do you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And then they only come home to hear. At some point, it might. I pray it doesn't get to that point. It might get to the point where a child will come back home and tell you, you don't know what you're saying. Because everything they are hearing everywhere else is different from what you're saying. Like, you don't know what you're saying. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It's the fallacy of when when a lie is being said so frequently, so often, so much,
God bless you.
it almost becomes the truth.
Yes. Yes. That's it. So the more you hear it, the more you believe it. So you hear the negative long enough, it becomes a positive for you. An average, okay, this is not a shade at my country. It's my country and I love my country so much. But an average Nigerian that you tell that, okay, if you get into a government position, you don't have to steal. An average Nigerian will look at you like, you must be a foolish man. Do you understand what I'm saying? You must be a foolish man. An average Nigerian will. When I say an average Nigerian, I mean even people in church.
Yeah, because that's what we've been, yeah.
Do you understand? So that is because the corruption or corruption is everywhere. I don't want to use corruption. That way of life, we have seen it, we have lived it, we have heard about it in the news so much so that it has become a norm for us. It's not because an average Nigerian is bad. No, we're not. When you see Nigerians in Western world, there's a difference. Like, are you not the same Nigerian from back home? You are a good man. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's a difference. Why? Because the system here does not allow what we have been taught back home. So there is no way you can express what you have learned back home here. So your true self tends to come out. I call it the true self. Some people say what the system has beaten you to be is what comes out. But I believe it's actually the true self that comes out. Because if it's not the true self, you'll find a way to express that bad self. The system does not matter.
Yeah, because that's who you are.
That's who you find a way around it. But if people are not finding a way around it and they are doing things the way things should be done, that means that's their true self. It's the system back home that is making them go around things. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if people hear the negatives outside long enough, it becomes what they internalize. And you that you are telling them the positive thing at home, you become the bad person. And that's back to what I was saying earlier. By the time they become a teenager, then they see you as someone they cannot talk to because you will not understand in their own mind. They'll be like, this man will not understand. I'll tell him now, he'll be quoting Bible for me. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then they keep quiet.
And they would rather
go and talk to someone else outside. Someone that's for lack of better word, the devil is using.
my brother.
That's it. So we need to talk we need to shoot that arrow, not only in our own homes, but outside.
But how do you do that? Is it social media? Is that the only way you can do that? If you're not a social media expert or tech, or you're not, you're not usually on those things, how do you do that?
Okay. Pastor Sam said something. There was a time there was a time something trended on social media. Who's this? Korede Bello was invited to perform in a church. So that trended. People talked about it. That why will the church invite? He's a secular musician. So Pastor Sam was like, music is this person's profession, right? And this person is a professional musician. Bringing them to church does not mean that you don't respect the church or anything. This person is a musician, someone that people respect. Just like if they decide to bring to the church a doctor to talk about medicine, or they decide to bring a business person to the church to talk about business. This is their profession. Do you understand? Now, it is something else if this person sings or has lyrics that is vulgar or something that you
Against,
against the
yeah,
Bible,
yeah.
something else entirely. But if this person does not have, this person is a professional musician. So why are you saying that they came to church and why are you complaining that they came to church? The reason I brought that up is every man has what they are doing, even when it looks like they're not doing anything. They have what they're doing to fend for their family. They have who they are. They have friends. They have things they do. We all have little communities here and there. Church is one community for me. Where I play soccer is another community for me. I have a soccer team. Not a team, but I have a group that
Yeah.
we play soccer on a weekly. That's another community for me as a person, right? My family is another one. The friends of my family is another one. My family back home is another one. Now, what we say to them, what we talk about, how we present these things to them matters. So it doesn't matter if you are not the tech savvy one who can go online and speak to the camera. Not everybody can do that. But you have communities. You can sell yourself there. Yeah, you can actually sell yourself there and sell these things there. Shoot your arrows in every community that you find yourself. That's it for me.
So in essence, nobody has an excuse.
Nobody has.
Yeah.
That's the simple truth. Nobody has, except of course if you want to be like if you want to be I want to use one big word. Like a disticker.
What? Wait, you're gonna have to educate me. What does that mean? The biggest word that I know is gastronomical.
Oh
That one is a
boy.
new one.
Gastronomical. What does that mean?
I don't even know. I think
Oh, Lord.
I think I knew what it meant. I haven't used it in a long time. That I can't remember.
Okay.
What does what
Like a
is
disticker.
like a dicycle?
Not minding something, just not being moved
Ah, okay.
by
I see.
something. I decide to be like a disticker about the issue at hand. It's not my problem, kind of thing. That's how I can explain it. The dictionary will say something.
Yeah.
I'll say it in a better way, but that's how I can explain it. So, except you if you want to be that, which of course we have said it here, that being that simply means that you're just going to be a part of the
Yeah.
decadence and what's killing and destroying families.
Yeah.
So,
Talking about families, let's talk about this one is a personal favorite of mine.
which is that?
Let's talk about being a dad. You probably saw when you first came today
Yeah.
that I had my two sons and I was dealing with a lot. I think I picked them up from school at about 2:15 nursery, so they
Okay.
haven't actually entered reception yet. My eldest will be in September, but I picked
No.
them up, and since then it's been a crazy experience up until I had to ship them out to some of the, that they are they're a blessing, and my wife can sometimes say a terror, like,
Yeah.
especially the youngest one. But honestly, when you sort of look all in all, they are a blessing. Sometimes you just look at them and you're just thinking, wow, thank God, in everything, give thanks.
True.
This is something that a lot of people are wishing
Mm,
that they had,
mm,
and it's not something that
mm.
you take for granted, regardless of how much they drive you crazy or
Yeah.
anything like that. But I know that we do experience it differently as a man versus a woman. And oftentimes we don't sit to talk. I'm going to say with my wife, I'm going to do the whole discussion, but we don't sit to talk to understand each other's view and how I felt or how you felt, sort of thing. So as a new dad, how did you feel? How old is your child?
He's gonna be 3 months tomorrow.
3 months tomorrow. Wow.
Yeah. So.
So you're still in that no sleeping. Maybe it's better now, but no
So
sleeping phase.
I'll say I've been blessed.
Wow.
Yes, because even from the very first month, he started sleeping at night.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
a rare
so
one.
we get to wake him up,
What?
yeah, to feed him, and then he sleeps back. But during the day, the cry is something else. But he sleeps at night.
Okay.
And also, there is something I did. I don't know if that's what worked, but I did it anyway. I saw it on Instagram. So immediately we left the hospital and I got home. I turned on everything that can make noise in the house while he was sleeping. I placed him in front of the TV, turned on the TV, increased the volume, turned on the blender, turned on the
I
Hoover.
think I know where you're going
Do you
with this.
understand?
Yeah.
And brought all the noise. He startled a little bit and then I think he adjusted and then he slept in that noise for like about an hour thereabout. He slept for a while. So that was it. And since that day, when he's sleeping, noise does not disturb. He's not the type that will be sleeping and I'll be like, I'll carry him like this. He'll be sleeping in my arms. I'll be receiving call. I'll be laughing. He'll be sleeping in my hand.
So you were even training him from the moment he was born.
Right from
I
there.
think, I think that's what a lot of people. We're gonna get back into how you felt because I'm really interested in that. But I think that's a lot what a lot of people miss
Yeah.
in children, training them when they were young. You could say a newborn baby knows nothing. Let me tell you, a newborn baby, I think up to the age of 5, that is the year, or that's the critical time you have to train them, to make sure they respect you, to make sure they know how to deal with people, to know that they make sure they have some level of manner.
Exactly.
If you're trying to train them past that age, it's like
it's like war.
I would pray for you and send you on your way, really. So no, I definitely vibe with that. But I don't know what professionals will say about the noise and everything and eardrum, but we'll leave it to them to tell us.
I don't know what the professionals will say, but anyways, it worked.
That is
it worked
key.
for my child, and he hears well. So about how I felt.
Big question. No one has asked you yet, right?
I felt a bit worried. I'll tell you why I felt a bit worried. But I felt a bit worried and I felt happy at the same time because we got married in 2023. Got married in 2023 and we gave birth in 2025. So we have been expecting him since last year. Yeah, he decided to come this year. Anyways, he came. And I was really happy, especially when I was told he's a boy.
You have your footballer.
Oh my God, Messi has arrived. So I call him Project Mbappe.
Yeah, people are now saying is Project. What's
Project Mbappe?
Yeah, there's this young 16-year-old. Is it Lamine or something? I don't really follow football anymore.
I don't really watch football. I only play.
Yeah, I only play. I don't follow football. I think he plays for Barcelona. I think it's Spanish, Lamine or something, Yamal or something like that. So that is now Project that.
Good luck with him. So, I was really happy when I heard he's a boy, and I was worried because this is a new place. It's a new environment. Like it or not, what we have heard about how the government deal with children and how you have to be extremely careful for the government not to. We've heard a lot of it, so that was what got me a bit worried, feeling like I want to be the best dad, definitely, even without being here. I want to be the best dad, but I also want to be sure we are not going against. Exactly. So that was what got me a bit worried. But besides that, it's been a fantastic journey.
Yeah,
it has been a fantastic journey. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm waiting for when you start crawling and scattering everything.
Oh, as he started smiling. Is he smiling intentionally yet?
Yes.
That was the first time.
Giggle.
No, the first time was beautiful. I have to say, the first that's the two things I look forward to the most. One is the first intentional smile
Smile.
at you,
Mm-hmm.
and then the second is their first step.
Okay.
I look
I've
forward to
gotten the
that the
smile.
most. Yeah.
Waiting for the step.
Yeah, it's coming. But um, when we talk about fatherhood and babies and kids, I remember that I saw a video
Yeah.
because your wife posted it, I believe. I'm not sure if it's on Instagram or YouTube, something like that,
Of me?
where she was revealing that
Oh
she was pregnant
yeah,
to
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
It was it was a whole. Oh, I told him.
I was like,
Yeah, I remember because it seemed it was it was beautiful, and it seemed like you've been expecting and waiting for a
mm-hmm,
long time
mm-hmm. Yeah,
for this baby.
my wife up until that point, she she had done a couple of tests. Any little missing period, she checks.
Hmm.
Then she comes around and be like, think I'm don't worry, calm down. Why are you
Hmm.
rushing? You understand? So
Yeah.
so when that came, it was like, what I'm feeling in this envelope. Yeah, it
uh,
was a fantastic moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, did you gain any daddy's weight,
Daddy's
father's weight?
weight.
Yes, nah.
Am I supposed to gain daddy's weight?
What, you
Is
don't
it
know?
no
Yeah,
weight?
they said this. You know,
How?
women say baby weight, right?
Okay.
We too, we gain.
How? I thought men are supposed to reduce in weight.
No, we gain weight because no. Think of it, right? Usually, when your wife or the woman is
Mm-hmm.
pregnant, they
Yeah.
usually crave some things, right?
Yes.
When they crave those things and the thing is available, you tell me
Yeah,
you
the
eat.
one that is.
So
Unfortunately,
you
I don't
don't eat
like food
it.
like that.
Oh
I don't like food
man!
like that.
So it's just me.
I don't like food like that. I can go from morning till evening without eating
Mm,
and not fasting.
mm. I mean
I
that
will
that
just forget to eat. It's not like I
yeah.
deliberately not eat. I will just forget. Later, I'll be like, time has gone. No. Babe, what are we eating?
Mm. So you didn't gain any baby
I
weight.
know, I didn't.
Ah,
If there's anything, I think I probably reduced.
okay. I mean, I
I
guess it
think I
was just
probably
me because
reduced.
I was looking at a picture of me recently, and I was like, wow, I have lost a lot of weight since then.
Oh, okay, you
I
gained
didn't
weight.
gain so much, but I could see it on my face that
Ah.
I gained some. So some dads out there, you might gain some. It's perfectly normal, and you might not. You stated that one of your most important life lesson
Yeah.
is to do you.
Mm-hmm.
What has gotten you to that point?
Right after I started the hustling,
Hmm.
I lived in different places. I've lived with friends, lived with family friends, I lived in different places. And that's where I got that from. Because at the end of the day, um, moving from one place to another, in a case of relocating,
Mhm.
makes people want to conform, to adjust to wherever it is they find themselves. It doesn't pay at the long run.
Mm.
Yeah. When you're in Rome, act like the Romans. When you're in Rome, act like yourself. So people will know you for you.
Why do you say it doesn't pay a long run? What experience have you had there?
It doesn't pay in the long run because at the end of the day, people will tend to see you as someone without integrity.
Been faking it all this while.
Do you understand? So it's even though it's not really like you're faking it, you're just trying to adapt or to um conform and not look like the odd one out.
Mm.
It's not like you're trying to fake it. It comes off as being fake. So someone that knows you while you were living in the UK knows how you react, and then because you are into IT and then you found your way in the United States, then you become someone else.
Mm.
You know, if someone sees you in those two places, you're like, Who is this guy? What's his deal? Do you understand? Who exactly is he? Do you get? So it doesn't pay out in the long run. Be yourself. Wherever it is you find yourself. If they are going to love you, they will love you. If they are not going to love you, they are not going to love you. It doesn't matter what you do or not do. If they love you because of what you do that is not yourself, eventually they're going to find that that's not you, and they're going to resent you for loving you in the first place. So why?
Is there a difference between that and building your character? We do know that there are some, you could say it's arbitrary or it's subjective, whatever you want to call it, but we do know that there are some characters that frankly they stink, right? There's some characters that are just not conducive to a healthy relationship or to a healthy community or society. In those cases, I'm guessing the message isn't necessarily do you. Well, maybe it is still do you, but can you refine you a bit more?
Okay, so if you are an oak tree, when you have rough edges and you're scratching everybody when you move, by the time you're smoothing yourself, you're still an oak tree.
Okay, so it's about the essence,
Exactly. Your person. You know who you are as a person.
values.
You know your values. You know what you're going for or what you're going for, and you know what you can and cannot take. All right. Now, refining that does not mean that you are going to change. You can refine it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just like speaking English. I speak English, right? Um, Now, changing myself will be forming accent, right? In it I start saying in it. That's changing myself. However, correcting myself and speaking better English is refining myself, right? I can be speaking English and speak it wrong, right? I can correct that. That does not change me. Now, because I find myself in the UK, speaking in it changes me.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is the difference. Your person, your values, your goals still remains what it is. But now finding a way to make it better is another thing entirely.
Yeah.
But don't change yourself for any reason, for anybody.
Yeah. I'm thoroughly enjoying this conversation. I hope, and I was wishing that it would not end. But I'm gonna ask you maybe one more question. Before we do that, you said something earlier about Project Alpha, and how you perceived it. So I'm going to use the opportunity to let you speak to that camera and just tell them why should people subscribe and hit that notification button.
All right. What do you call your subscribers? Project Alpha Gang.
Alpha, just Alpha.
Alpha Gang.
Let's call them that. We could Alpha Gang. Yeah.
Alpha Gang. Yeah. So this is it. I'm pretty sure when you saw my face, you felt like, who is this boy that is here? All right. And then you heard my story. You must have picked one or two things. Be sure that you're going to get a lot more people that are going to come and you pick a lot more from them. That's one reason out of many I should actually hit that subscribe button right there. It's somewhere there. Just hit it.
Tell them.
All right. Hit like. And there is one bell icon too. Hit that one too so that when any video drops, you'll be notified. All right.
Make sure you do it. Last question.
Yeah.
The part of your story that resonates, and maybe not that maybe resonates is not the word, but that has impacted me the most, is that of being a favorite child and the impact that a lot of people don't see. And a lot of times it's not often that the parents try to do that. It can just somewhat be what it is. My question is, if you were to look back at you at that time, knowing fully well what you know now, and knowing fully well that he is perceived as the favorite child, what advice would you give him to save him from the heartache to come?
My younger self.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, super part, What advice would you give your mom to save you from the heartache to come?
The first thing I'll tell my younger self will be, don't relish that moment too much. Whenever it comes to you, direct them towards your older ones too. Like, uh, why are you giving only me? What about them? Do you understand? Little things like that. That's one. And that's because by the time you get that feeling of being favored, by the time life hits you, it's going to come off as you will not be prepared for it. So making you feel like you are special amongst your own gives you the feeling like you are special more than anybody else outside, also, which is totally wrong. You are special in sight of God. You are special, but the ego of better than you is what nobody should have, because by the time life hits you, you know that you are not special than anybody. Everybody is special in sight of God. So I'll tell myself, share it when it comes to you. Share it. And you asked if what I would tell mom
Yeah.
or no, not only mom. I don't think I experienced too much of that favoritism from mom. It's basically from dad. So what I'll tell them is to ask them why only me. Just maybe why me on this matter. Why only me? What about them? Yeah, that's probably what I'll do
So,
if I have the courage.
yeah, courage. That's a big one. You want to direct some of that attention
Exactly.
to the rest of your siblings to
Yeah.
have to make it at least seem fair and equal.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Sam. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.